Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about more World of Tanks Blitz Reforged Unreal Engine 5 changes. Now, this video is going to be talking about graphics, physics, and battle interface improvements. We're going to see exactly what that means. What I can tell you guys is that I'm really hoping version 2 of Reforged runs a lot better. The first Ultra test that was released for Reforged, I'll be honest, is pretty awful in performance. I have a 4090, a 7950X, water cooled, and yet the game when I was recording was about 90 to 80 FPS. It was laggy, it was glitchy, we had AMX airlines, which while it was funny, obviously would not fly in actual games. So there was a lot of problems. At distance, the game looked very pixelated, which was not a good thing. And the current Blitz that we play looked better than Unreal Engine 5. So one of the big things that I kept telling Wargaming was that the game needs to look better. It needs to run better. And that is still one of the most important things, right? If the game feels like crap, it's going to lower the overall feeling of everything else. So let's see exactly what Wargaming did and what they have to say.
Moving to Unreal Engine changed everything for Blitz. Now we have the power to improve graphics, effects, and physics. After the last test, we received a huge wave of feedback from you. We listened, we analyzed, and we've made changes to the things that raised the most questions. And thanks to the new engine, we can respond faster and do more. We've made a lot of visual improvements, many of them subtle, but all of them important.
It's honestly hard to tell the improvements on this comparison here. I mean, the grass looks better. The grass definitely looks better, but like the tanks themselves, they look pretty similar. I can't really say a difference between them. The map does actually the new old map looks more vibrant than the new one. I find that funny. A lot of people are complaining that Reforged looked too vibrant, even though literally our Castilla definitely looks more vibrant than the Reforged Castilla.
New grass.
I gotta say, I actually think our Bashation looks better than the Reforged Bashation. Now, that is because of the fact Normandy has no shadows right now. You can see that apparently we're going to still not put shadows on the Normandy map. You can see, like, yeah, I don't know why, but there's no shadows. But the grass does look good. I will say that. Like, the current grass we have looks awful. Look at the grass. It hasn't changed in like 10 years of Blitz. It looks like a balding man's forehead. The grass in Reforged actually looks really nice.
More detailed outlands.
But
dynamic shadows.
The graphics do look better. I mean, look at the textures on the dirt here versus the textures here. The graphics definitely look better. We can see here again, like the bushes, they look better. The overall design, everything in Reforged looks better. I mean, the colors just pop more. The buildings look better. So I have to say, Reforged is obviously an upgrade in that department, and I'm very happy about that.
Textures. New fire and smoke effects.
Yep, that looks nice.
Together, they create a richer visual experience and make battles feel more immersive. Our goal is to keep the look and feel you're used to, but make it even better.
Now, one of the things I'm really hoping is that Wargaming ends up making all of the maps enhanced graphics when they release Reforged. That would be huge, because there's a lot of maps right now that are pretty ugly. Port Bay is a great example. You know, there's a lot of maps that definitely need to be reworked in their graphics, and I'm hoping they do that when they release Reforged.
During the last round of testing, we collected your feedback and used it to fine-tune some of the changes. One of the concerns raised during the previous test was FPS drops. We made several improvements to performance, and we'll be testing them in the upcoming Ultra test.
Okay.
It's still a work in progress, and optimizing performance across all devices remains one of our top priorities.
Well, all I'm going to say is that the game should be running fine on a 4090 and a 7950X. Like, I should not be dropping FPS with a top-of-the-line computer that cost me more money than, you know, like some countries' GDPs. Like, I don't know what else to say. If there's performance drops with my computer and the game doesn't run well, I'm still going to complain, and it will be my largest complaint about Reforged. So I really hope that Wargaming does a proper job on making the FPS better. I know that it is a priority, but I've I've made it very clear my stance on this.
Your feedback and test data play a key role in helping us get there. Some players noticed that the image looked blurry in certain moments. We've adjusted the settings and visual parameters. That blur effect is now gone.
I think that blur effect had to do with post-processing. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it had to do with, so we'll have to see. But definitely in the background, there was a lot of pixelation, and that was one thing I brought up heavily to Wargaming. In fact, when I spoke to the lead dev, I showed him. It was bad, so I'm hoping they fix that.
Another point of feedback was the color scheme of the battle UI. It felt unfamiliar and too bright. We've brought back the classic colors. Green for allies, red for enemies.
Okay, good.
We've also improved how the HP bar responds to damage.
I don't know why you guys can't just make it so we can choose what colors the allies and the enemy are. That would be a lot more fun.
It's much clearer and more readable than in the previous test.
Definitely better.
Some players found certain UI elements, like status notifications and ribbons, too small.
Yep.
We've improved their readability.
I don't understand. I hope I was told that sometimes Wargaming devs watch my videos. Yo, devs, why do we need to have ribbons? Why can't you just do it like World of Tanks PC and have a damage blocked and damage dealt counter just like the replays? Why can't we see actively how much damage we've dealt in the game? Like, it would be super easy to do. You already have it in replays. Why can't we have that function in actual games? It would be so much nicer to know how much damage we've done than look at the little ribbons and be like, oh my god, I penned that shot. Like, just put a damage counter. It's not that hard. It's like when I play GTA and there's no speedometer. People want speedos. I want a damage counter. So that's as simple as it is.
Mobile players asked for more control over the interface, especially the ability to move command buttons.
Okay.
We're fixing that.
That's nice.
To keep things familiar, national voiceovers will stay enabled by default.
Nice.
But if you're curious to try something new, you can now switch to commander voiceovers in the settings whenever you like.
Okay. Brutal head.
The physics system has been completely reworked. In the past, it was simplified. Now, it's fully simulated, with real friction, sliding, and track-to-surface interaction.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the physics are. Previously, you could climb up a hill at Mach 9, which didn't make sense, so we'll have to see if that's better. The sliding was also really bugged, so we'll have to see.
Tank movement now behaves much closer to how real vehicles respond.
Okay.
But at the same time, we're keeping the gameplay dynamic and fun, with a few smart compromises. For example, tanks can flip, but they'll always land back on their tracks.
Yep.
At first, the new physics might feel unusual, but very quickly, you'll start to notice the positives.
See, the problem with the physics is, look how the tank has 1577 health. Bro just jumped off a cliff.
Might feel unusual, but very
didn't lose a single hit point. And I remember watching in Ultra Test 1 a mouse jump off of the canal bridge in the center of the map, and it lost like 50 health. Like, the problem with the current physics is that the game's constantly trying to make the tank not flip, and it focuses on that more than damage, so there needs to be a mix.
Very quickly, you'll start to notice the positives: better control, more weight, more immersion. And if something gets in the way of fun, we'll keep tuning it based on your feedback. For example, some players noticed a drop in speed during turns or tank behavior that fell off. We are already adjusting individual parameters to bring back that familiar Blitz handling. We've seen comments saying that tanks feel slower in the Reforged update. We looked into it,
I don't know
and
about
yes,
that.
there was a difference. We've adjusted it, and now tanks move at the same speed.
I don't really see much of a difference there. Wait, what? Wait,
yet-
wait. Look, Ultra Test 1 current. Alright, I'm
There
gonna pause
was a
it
difference.
halfway. Bro, it's the same! It's literally... What? Wait.
We've adjusted it.
It's the same! It's literally the same. Literally, all they've done is they've made it so that now Ultra Test 2 turns faster. Look. What? I don't... Okay.
And now tank
Personally, I didn't notice a difference between Ultra Test 1 and the current traverse speeds, but, okay.
tanks move at the same speed you're used to.
Ultra Test 2 is definitely faster than the current now.
Some players mention that aiming and camera movement feel different, even with the same settings and sensitivity.
I agree.
We've made a number of improvements in this area to make the experience smoother and more responsive. You'll be able to test these changes yourself and share your updated feedback.
Oh, I will.
We've added a new armor penetration highlight system. It's more intuitive and helps quickly assess whether a shot is likely to go through.
I
If
don't
you want
like
to
the
try it
red.
out or explore the combined mode, you can switch between all available options in the settings. These changes aren't final. We're continuing to improve the game, and your feedback is a key part of that process. We want to test all of this together with you. Join the Open Ultra test and tell us what you think. Your opinion matters. We're building this game together.
See, this is what Wargaming should have done on the first version of Reforged, right? Like, everybody's like, oh, this is good, blah, blah, blah. But the point being, this is what the Reforged changes should have been. Like, the problem was, as I told Wargaming, I said, you guys released the game, Ultra Test 1, you released the trailer for the game without any community feedback, without telling anybody anything, and then got surprised when we hated it, right? It's like surprising your wife with a present. That sucks. Like, it just wasn't good. This is what should have been done the first time. And while it is obviously good that you guys are doing this, unfortunately, it seems like you've still lost a portion of players that you will not be getting back because of the original trailer. I don't know how you're going to win those players back, but you're going to have a hard time doing that. But the point being, Reforged is definitely looking better. This is important to me, but I don't really care too much about looking at the physics changes because it's only going to matter once I actually get to see them in battle. I mean, you guys can say whatever you want, but it doesn't mean anything to me until I'm actually in the Ultra Test and I'm messing around with them and I'm able to feel and see the differences from Ultra Test version 1. With that being said, I am still glad that Wargaming is sharing information with the community, and this is now the second developer diary. The biggest one is going to be the commanders, the keys, and, you know, what's going on there, so we're going to have to see. But I want you guys to let me know your personal feelings in the comments if you agree with these changes that Wargaming's been doing so far. I definitely do. But these aren't really changes. These are just good, right? When it comes to graphics, this is all good news. The question will be what's going on with commanders and the overall balance of the game, and that'll probably be the next video. So we'll have to see. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.